and they win the NFC South.
First things first, before we get into the game, I just want to reach out everyone who dealt with the storm surge last night in the Tampa Bay area. Definitely got pretty rough when you combine, high tide and the storm surge at the same time. I know someone who got 3 feet of water in their home, and I know someone that got 6 feet of water in their home. So devastating stuff, obviously, furniture, all that type of stuff, it's ruined. So there are a lot of people going through it right now, and just sending my best wishes, best prayers. Now let's get into this game, where I hate to have to keep bringing this up, but injuries, again, are going to play a huge factor on both sides. The Eagles, their 2 star receivers, Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith confirmed out with concussion. A.J. Brown, who has been out, is listed as questionable. I know he didn't practice Wednesday and Thursday. I haven't seen his status today on Friday, but I don't think you can rely on it. And that's obviously concerning for them, because now they have 2... Covey went out as well. He went on IR, so I think they have 2 active receivers on their 53-man roster. So obviously they're going to have to bring up a couple more. So you're relying on guys who have no game experience so far this season. And one of the guys that are currently on their roster is a rookie. It's not looking good out wide for the Philadelphia Eagles. Injuries on the Bucs side. Again, Kalijah Kancey going to be out, confirmed by Todd Bowles. Also confirmed by Todd Bowles is Antoine Winfield Jr. will be out again. Now the questionable pieces are Luke Gedeke still. This is leading up to week 3 in concussion protocol. He has today or Saturday to pass that concussion protocol test to be able to play Sunday. This week he was a full participant when you look at Thursday's practice and today. So that is trending in the right direction, going from limited to full. That's a good sign, but still, regardless, you have to pass that test. Vita Vea continuing to trend in the right direction. Hopefully, we'll be able to see him on Sunday, because, like I just said, what's going on with the Eagles offense, not having those receivers out wide, not having the experience out there. Guess who's going to be getting the ball a lot this game? He already gets the ball a lot, but Saquon will be getting touches. And hopefully it's just touches, not touchdowns, but Vita Vea can, really help this Bucs defense, because like we saw last week, that interior, there's no pressure, there's no threat when you're looking at Greg Gaines and Logan Hall, these guys filling in for Kalijah and Vita. It's just not getting it done. And offensive lines are able to tee off and focus on Yaya Diaby and Joe, and they're not Aiden Hutchinson or TJ Watt level guys, so they can't beat double teams, and at least we haven't seen it yet. So Vita, please, we need him back this game. I think he's the biggest guy who's injured. I know Antoine, he's a first-team All-Pro, but specifically for this game, Vita plays a massive role when you talk about the tush push, all of these things combined. Yeah. I think the Bucs' game plan on the defensive side of the ball is pretty simple when you look at the circumstances. Assuming that A.J. Brown is also out, you gotta watch Saquon Barkley. And he's a threat in the run game and the pass game, but you got enough guys on defense to keep an eye on him. He's gonna get some yards, but just limit him. First and second down are going to be crucial on defense, because you want to force the Eagles into 3rd and long and force Jalen Hurts to have to throw the ball, make really good throws to receivers who lack the experience and need to come up with a big catch on a long 3rd down. You want to force the Eagles into that situation, because that's not a recipe for success given their personnel going into this game. And I think that's honestly, there's some questions there, because you look at the Bucs trenches, and especially that defensive line, 2 sacks in 3 games. It's not looking good. Running the ball, they've been okay stopping that. Detroit had pretty good yards per carry. The Broncos, the Bucs did stop the run. They did have a 50-yard run to really boost those numbers towards the end of the game there. Obviously, as Bucs fans, we're more confident in the run-stuffing ability of this defense compared to the pass rushing ability. It's been night and day. We don't need pressures. We don't need QB hits. We need to get to Jalen Hurts, make him uncomfortable the times that he does have to throw the ball. Don't let him improvise. Don't let him get outside and make some crazy throw. And we don't need all of that. We don't need all of that. I think there's 3 guys who aren't on the defensive line that we really need to count on to limit Saquon Barkley. First guy, KJ Britt. KJ Britt, he is the run-stopping guy in this linebacker group. Obviously, Levante David does it all, but when you're looking at the other 2 guys, KJ and Servassier Dennis, Servassier is more the pass coverage guy. I think this is going to be more of a KJ Britt game because he's that run stuffer. He's that thumper. Staying gap sound, discipline, physical, should be good. Another guy coming from the back end into the box, I think what we'll see a lot is Jordan Whitehead. Super physical, like I said, an in-the-box safety, really good tackler. Didn't have his best game last week, so looking for a bounce-back game from Jordan Whitehead, limiting Saquon Barkley. And then Tyke Smith, the rookie, I feel like there's going to be a lot of creative ways in getting Saquon Barkley the ball this game, whether it be toss outside, screen, maybe having him motion out and then throwing in the ball. Whatever it may be, Tyke Smith is going to be in position to where he needs to make big tackles, and he may have a guard pulling and going his way or a center pulling and going his way. How does he dodge those blocks, get to Saquon, keep the Eagles in 3rd and long? If those 3 guys have disciplined days, I think the Bucs defense will be good. Once again, a lot, can change with Vita Vea, whether he's in or out. We've seen it in the past, what he does against the Eagles especially. I feel like he's probably the most effective guy in the NFL when it comes to stopping the tush push. Just he requires a double team. So opening up another one-on-one on somewhere else along the line it's such a big deal. Then on the offensive side of the ball, I think it's all about getting Baker back comfortable. Since Luke Gadecki's been out, you look at that Lions game, Baker did a lot of scrambling. In that game, the scrambling worked. And I think the scrambling was more with purpose. In the Broncos game, it was more like he was seeing ghosts type of scrambling. Yes, they did send a lot of blitzes. Yes, offensive linemen were getting beat. But there were plays where Baker could have sat in that pocket and found a guy downfield. But he chose to scramble, and that can mess things up because then receivers have to, let's say they're running a slant, but Baker's running that way. Well, they have to pivot their route, change things up, and go follow Baker, and it's if you're going to scramble, you got to scramble with a purpose. And it didn't feel like Baker was scrambling and really finding guys downfield last game at all. It was scramble and maybe still end up getting sacked, or scramble throwing the ball out of bounds, or scrambling and trying to run, but maybe he only gets 2 yards. It wasn't the same as the Lions game. So let's get Baker back comfortable. Luke Gadecki, come on. Let's get back in there. Baker looks so comfortable against the Washington Commanders, and look what he did. Nearly 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, just sitting in the pocket. Mike Evans, touchdown. Chris Godwin, touchdown. Mike Evans, touchdown. And speaking of Mike Evans, I'm not going to go off on a rant here. Get him the ball. 9 targets combined in his last 2 games is not enough. So keys on both sides of the ball. Forcing the Eagles offense into 3rd and long. Those 1st and 2nd downs are going to be really big. Stopping Saquon Barkley, only letting him get 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards. Don't let that consistent build 4 yard, 5 yard pop, 6 yard pop, break one for 21 yards. We can't let that just build up over game and tire out the defense. So 3rd and long, that's what you want to force Jalen Hurts into. Interesting note, Jalen Hurts has 7 regular season games in a row where he's thrown an interception. That's the longest streak in the NFL. So if we're forcing them in 3rd and long and forcing Jalen Hurts to make really good throws to receivers who, aren't that guy compared to a Devonta Smith or A.J. Brown, I like our chances. And on offense, put together consistent drives and make Baker comfortable. Last week, could not put together a bunch of drives. They would just get, broken by a sack or a dumb penalty. Play discipline. It's a tough defensive line you're going up against. We got to see this group grow together. I know new faces, Graham Barton, Ben Bredesen, It's been School instead of Gedeke, so School technically is a new face. So hopefully this thing starts to shape up here. Baker can get more comfortable and look more like he did in week 1. So prediction time, I'm going to go lower scoring when you look at what Vic Fangio does. He's more of a drop 7 guy than bringing a bunch of blitzes like we saw last week with the Denver Broncos. So I don't think the over-the-top ball is going to be there as much this game. You would assume if they're dropping 7 at least. So I'm going to say Bucks 20. And then the Eagles not being able to throw the ball, being a little bit more limited. If we're going to assume that A.J. Brown is out, which it seems like it's going to end up that way, I'm going to go Eagles 16. So sort of a weird score there. A lot of field goals maybe, but that's the prediction. Not that predictions mean anything. A couple division games going forward. So the Bucks really need this bounce back win. Got Atlanta next week on a Thursday night, and then we got New Orleans 2 weeks later, and I'll be traveling to New Orleans for that one. So hopefully this team is healthy, because I'm not trying to go to New Orleans and watch my Bucks lose. That's not what I'm trying to do. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below your thoughts on this game. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Go Bucks. Y'all have a blessed one.